following is a sports presentation of WGN America.
We are coming to you from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, where tonight WGN Sports is proud to present White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Jake Peavy and the Sox as they get set to put heads with Billy Butler and the young Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this 3-game setting, Game 2 of this 10-game road trip. We have 3 here, 4 in Boston, finished it off with 3 in Detroit. But in the opener last night, the game went 5 hours, I should say, 23 minutes, 14 innings. We won it 9-8. So the bullpens are depleted, and what we're looking for tonight is a big outing from Jake Peavy.
Well, Jake Peavy can give you a big outing because he's been good all year. He's 7-5. His ERA is below 3. He's throwing the ball as well as anybody in the league, but he got no offensive support over a 4-game span. Lost all 4 of them. And we only scored 2 runs for him offensively. So Jake has been terrific, and I look for a big outing for him tonight. He's 4-4 lifetime against these Royals. Luke Hochhaber goes to the mound for Kansas City. He's 6-8. His ERA is up over 5. He also is 4-4 lifetime against our Sox. So threw a pretty good game against us when he saw us earlier this year. But this is a guy that's always struggled with something. Last year, they tried to get him throw inside a little bit more. This year, it's to forget about the 2-seamer, throw the 4-seam fastball. So this was a #1 draft pick. The first player picked in the country in 2006. Hasn't quite lived up to it yet. Hopefully he won't live up to it tonight.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Chicago White Sox baseball is brought to you by the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. By the Illinois Lottery. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery, anything is possible. And by Ford, proud sponsor of your Chicago White Sox and proud of our Chicago-built Ford Explorer. Check it out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Welcome back to beautiful Kauffman Stadium, I should say, which just hosted the All-Star game, and we understand they did a wonderful job there. But we're on the road again, as you know, and the Sox have a terrific road record at 24-16. That's 3rd best in the major leagues. And our guys have played well because they're just not beating themselves.
They're doing real well, and the pitching is 3rd in the major leagues on the road. And that's one of the reasons why this year they've dominated away from U.S. Cellular Field. The problem has been here in Kauffman Stadium. They've lost 5 of the last 7. This has been a very tough team for them, but this year, a different year, and one of the reasons is our defense has gotten as good as anybody in baseball. The pitching has been solid. Last night was maybe a microcosm of what happens at Kansas City. They can hit the baseball. They just can't stop anybody from hitting the baseball against them, and last night, it was just enough with 9 runs.
And once again, Kevin Youkilis for the 8th consecutive game has driven in a run, and he got the game-winning RBI last evening.
He did that after a 14-pitch at bat. Magnificent performance by Youkilis. He waited, he finally got a ball up in the zone he could hit in the air, and that turned out to be the winning run. So here's a guy who's meant so much to this team. A great job by Kenny Williams bringing him over. He filled a big hole, and he knows how to win.
All right, we'll be back.
Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Very warm day in Kansas City, unlike last evening. And the birthday boy, Robin Ventura, looking for 2 in a row after the All-Star break. He's got a lineup that's actually been red hot offensively. They've scored a whole lot of runs. Jake hasn't been given a whole lot of runs, which is the reason why his record is just 7-5. Ned Yost on the other side of the field has got a fairly young team, and he's got a decimated pitching staff. They were supposed to be in pretty good shape this year, but injuries have really felled most of their starters, and so He struggled along. They're giving up a lot of runs. They're scoring a lot of runs. And they actually have a higher batting average than our ball club. Our guys, however, there's a lot of guys having career years. A.J. Przinsky, a career year to this point. Alex Rios, back to the days when he was an all-star with Toronto. And the big addition, Kevin Youkilis, who makes each and every pitcher work just about as hard as they can work and never gives away an at-bat. At least to this point, that's been his style. I don't expect that's going to change anytime soon. So let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox tonight. Alejandro Diaz is going to lead it off with Kevin Youkilis, his familiar 2 spot. Adam Dunn is at first base tonight with Paul Konerko, the DH. Then it's Alex Rios, Alexi Ramirez, who's been red hot lately, Dan Viciedo, Tyler Flowers behind the plate. AJ caught all 14 last night, and Gordon Beckham at second base and hitting 9. The defense and how they'll line up behind Luke Hochevar. Alex Gordon, Jared Dyson, Jeff Francoeur in the outfield, Mike Moustakas, Alcides Escobar, Chris Getz off the disabled list back in the lineup, and Eric Hosmer at first. Salvatore Perez, their very talented young catcher behind the plate, and Luke Hochevar on the hill. Hochevar 6-8, his ERA just over 5. This is his 18th start. Opponent's hitting .281, and with his stuff, that's a really high number. The men in blue tonight, Tim Cheetah, the crew chief behind the plate. Jordan Baker is at first. Bill Welke is at second. And Chris Guccione is at third. And so we already know going into tonight's action that Cleveland has lost to Toronto 11-9. That certainly helps. It pushes them back a half a game. Detroit has just tied up Baltimore 4-4 as they head into the bottom of the 9th inning. So winners of 7 of our last 10. The White Sox looking for a little bit more here in Kansas City and the start of a very long, very difficult road trip to start the second half of the season. Perez has got a strong arm, fires it to second base right on the money, which is what you would expect from the talented youngster. They're throwing the ball around the infield. We're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, birthday boy.
Well, thank you.
You and Robin Ventura. Happy birthday, Stevie, and many, many more, buddy.
Thank you. It's kind of amazing that we would have the same birthdays.
It is?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? We're within 3 years of one another.
All right, and before we show you our picks to click, you at home, select yours as the first pitch of the ball game to Diaza is taken upstairs. Alejandro comes in hitting at .281, 5 homers, 32 knocked in. Sox hitting at .261 as a club with a 3.93 ERA. And that's foul straight back. So the count 1-1. This is the 5th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 4, we have split them. Kansas City for the past few years has really played us tough. There's a breaking ball strike, and here at beautiful Kauffman Stadium, 330 down the lines, 387 in the gaps, and 410 straightaway center.
Hochevar has both a curveball and a slider, and it really depends on what's working on a given night. That last one was a curveball and a good one.
And that is back. 1-2. Sox come in, as we mentioned, 24-16 on the road, 24-22 at home. High and wide, so a 2-2 count. Diaza 1 for 6 last night, but it was a big hit. 5 hours and 23 minutes long. Pretty good curveball, didn't get it, so a full count.
Here's our Xfinity pitch tracks, and that one up a little high. Good call by Tim Cheetah, who is one of the better umpires around.
He is definitely one of the best around. Timmy probably in the top 3 or 4. Big gap out there in right center field.
And another foul ball.
Well, now that Hochevar has not actually abandoned, but pretty much put on the shelf for a while the two-seam fastball, that four-seamer stays up in the zone. He's only given up 10 home runs this year in 98 innings, but you'd think if he stays up in the zone with that fastball, he's going to start giving up a few more.
And there is a tough fly over by their dugout, and it's not going to be playable. Now, one thing about it, when you start changing guys around, you can't expect it to be like a light switch.
No, it's pretty tough, and he's using a different formula each and every year.
I was getting ready to say, how many different times do you think he's been changed around?
A lot.
Yeah.
He's worked the top of the strike zone almost entirely in this at bat.
And the payoff pitch. And another souvenir. We have had some grinding at bats from Diaza, Youkilis, and really this whole ball club. They have really battled hard and given quality at bats this year. Finally gets him.
You got him on a pitch well out of the zone. Perez able to knock it down.
So here's Youkilis hitting at .261, 7 homers, 29 driven in, but in the Sox uniform hitting at .340, 3 homers and 15 RBIs. And as I mentioned in the opening, 8 consecutive games with an RBI. Had that sacrifice fly last night in the top of the 14th. Knocking in Gordon Beckham, who was big late in that ball game offensively. 0-2 the count.
Hochevar, the #1 pick in the country in 2006.
Two balls and a strike. Outfield, for the most part, straight up, about equidistant. And it's 2-2 with Adam Dunn on deck. Second of this 3-game series, second of this 10-game road trip. 3 here, 4 in Boston, and 3 in Detroit. And another full count.
Well, Dyson in center field can fly, but sometimes he'll take circuitous routes to line drives and fly balls. We'll see if that comes into play tonight.
And the payoff. Frozen, 2 down. So with 2 out, let's check out our BMW picks to click. Jim Angio, our director and crew. Well, they want Tyler Flowers, Steve, going to Alexei, and Seth Sherian. Max Waisman and I. We're going to go with Gordon Beckham. And for a limited time, get exceptional lease deals on a new 2012 BMW 3 Series. Visit ChicagolandBMW.com for more information. Adam hitting at .212, 26 homers, 63 knocked in. That's a fair ball. And Hosmer doing exactly what a first baseman should do. Take everything you can yourself. Keep the pitcher out of the play. Meanwhile, a 1-2-3 inning. After a half inning of play, it's our guys nothing, and their guys coming to bat.
Let's take a look at how Ned Yost is going to line up his Royals tonight. Alex Gordon leading it off. Then Alcides Escobar, and it's Hosmer, Butler, Moustakas, Frank Gore, the former Sox, Chris Getz, with Perez and Dyson rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Jake, Viciedo, Diaza, and Rios in the outfield. Euclid, Ramirez, Beckham, and Dunn. Tyler Flowers behind the plate. And Jake Peavy on the hill looking for win number 8. He's 4-4 lifetime against these Royals. The ERA terrific at 2.85 on for the 18th start. He's completed 4 games, and that's been real good. Opponents hitting just .213. He needs a long outing today as Robin went 9 pitchers deep on that pitching staff. In fact, 18 pitchers combined between both teams in that 14-inning affair last night.
Alex Gordon will lead it off. Left fielder. Fakes the bunt, takes a strike. Gordon hitting at .278, 5 homers and 29 driven in. He had 4 broken bats in the game last night. 3 of them resulted in hits. That's not a broken bat. And a nice, beautiful play by Alejandro Diaza. Yes, showtime. Mercy. That ball was scalded.
Alex Gordon, who hit 23 home runs last year and only 5 this year, got most of this one. It's 4-10 to center field. Alejandro measuring the ball all the way, realizing it's going to stay in the park. He goes up, takes the contact, and more importantly, holds on to the baseball.
Well, you show me a team that can catch the baseball on a consistent basis, and I'll show you a team that's going to win more than they lose. Our outfield play this year has been superb, especially compared to the last 3 years.
Well, they've got the guys in the right positions, and they all can throw pretty well, and they all hit cutoff men.
Escobar with a 1-1 count. He's hitting at .308. He was 2 for 5 with 3 big RBIs last night. Royals hitting at .265 as a club with a 4.38 team ERA.
Escobar was the guy that was supposed to take over shortstop when J.J. Hardy left for the Milwaukee Brewers. But then he came over here in the Zach Greinke deal. He's been terrific for the Royals.
And that slicing foul.
We saw last night that with 2 outs, he caught Kevin Euclid back a bit in back of the bag, laid down a perfect bunt, drove home a run, got a base hit. So he can do a lot of things, and this year he's been hitting over 300 most of the season.
Two and two. Well, he's got good plate coverage.
And Jake probably was trying to shorten up that plate coverage with that last pitch because he didn't like him leaning out and taking that pitch to right field.
I think that's exactly what he was doing.
Normally Jake's control is just about as good as he wants it to be. If he wants to go up and in, he's going to make sure it gets up and in.
Escobar's faced Jake 9 times, has 2 hits, but he's driven in 4 runs.
That 1-4 over the last 7 starts is really deceiving for Jake. He lost a 1-0 game. He lost a 2-1 game. He went through 4 straight losses, getting just 2 runs in support from his teammates. And it's almost impossible to win like that.
Escobar works it to a full count. Royals 14-24 here at home, 23-24 on the road. Knocks it down, picks it up, and throws him out. What a nice play by Euclid. That was a tough hop with a lot of top spin.
Euclid has absolutely been terrific. That ball just drops at his feet. He knows he's got a fast man running, but he still takes his time, gets it across the diamond. He's only made 1 error, and this is his 15th game in a White Sox uniform.
Here's Hosmer. Hosmer hitting at .227, 9 homers and 39 driven in. He's had some good swings. There was another good swing. He had some good pitches to hit last night. all over him. Meanwhile, he fouled him back. He was 0 for 6 in that ball game last evening. He gone. Some good defense. Beautiful play by Piazza and Youkilis. Meanwhile, 1-2-3, and after one, no score. No score, top of the second inning. It'll be Konerko, Rios, and Ramirez. Paulie hitting at .325, 14 homers and 42 driven in. Lifetime against Hochevar, 5 for 24 with a couple of homers. There he just eats him alive in on the fist. For 1 pitch, 1 out.
That really was one of the keys for Hochevar, who loved to throw everybody away. And up until last year, that's primarily what he did. Now, he had some decent runs with the Royals, but not what they thought he could do. So with Perez catching, they've tried to go inside a bit more, and it's worked fairly well for him.
First pitch strike to Alex. Alex at .317, 13 homers, 50 knocked in. 2 for 7 last night with a home run. Tops that foul, and for a fantastic White Sox experience, the Comcast Fundamentals deck at US Cellular Field. You can interact with White Sox trainers, run the bases at the wiffle ball diamond, and test your swing into batting cages. You're always at the center of the action with Xfinity, only from Comcast. One and 2 the count to Rios. Alex just 3 for 20 lifetime off Hochevar. That ball is hammered. And that's going to be over the head of Gordon. One hops the fence. So Rios into second. He'll pick up his 21st two-bagger.
It's hard to imagine too many guys over the span of the last month or so that have hit the ball harder than Alex Rios. Got that fastball. It was on the inner portion of the plate, and he just cranked it over the head of Gordon. It's going to be a lively ballpark again because it's very warm here in Kansas City, despite this being a very big ballpark.
Here's Alexei hitting at .266, couple homers and 44 driven in. He was 2 for 7 last night with an RBI.
That inside move that Hochevar just tried to use on Rios worked last night with Septimo with Dyson at second. He picked him off.
First pitch strike.
When I say inside move, what I mean is most guys on a pickoff play are going to whirl around and throw to second base. But the inside move, it appears that you're coming home with it, only you keep on spinning in the same direction and then throw to second. If a guy is running or leaning the wrong way, you're probably going to get him.
That's into right center field, but they got a man there. Francoeur. That's out number 2. With Alex moving into third. So Rios at third, 2 down. Here is Tank. Viciedo hitting at .257, 15 homers and 42 knocked in.
Hochevar has a couple of wild pitches this year, but I dare say now that Perez is back, it's going to be a lot harder to get the ball by him. He's looking like one of the best young catchers in all of baseball.
Breaking ball strike. Hochevar, 28 years old, 6'5", 215 pounds, out of Knoxville, Tennessee. 2-1 to count. Lays off that one.
Well, Hochshaver wanted the appeal, only pitchers can't appeal. And Tim Sheeta said, I don't really need an appeal. He didn't swing, so called it a ball.
There's a one-hopper right to Moustakas. And that'll end that. After an inning and a half, no score. Billy Butler, the DH, will lead it off. First pitch from Jake, taken for ball one. Butler hitting at .293, 16 homers and 52 knocked in.
One of the reasons why he's a .297 lifetime hitter is because he uses the whole field. He does have big power, but he is a line drive hitter. Just some of them go out of the park.
21 to count. He is 7 for 18 lifetime against Peavy with 3 homers and 5 knocked in.
Another guy raised through the very productive Kansas City system.
Got a good pitch to hit, and unfortunately for Jake, it stayed in the park.
When you get it up there on the inner portion to Butler, he doesn't miss it too much. He'll occasionally swing at pitches low and out of the zone, but he is a vicious line drive hitter.
It'll bring in Moustakas hitting at .266, 16 homers and 48 driven in. They're in the top of the 11th at Camden Yards, tied at 4. Tigers scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th to make it a 4-4 ball game. That is high into left field. Bank back right up against the fence, so Butler's going to tag and make it into second.
Pretty good base running by a guy who doesn't run very well, but when he realized that Viciedo, if he made the catch at all, was going to make it right in front of the fence, he just tagged up. And you see, Tank can't really put it away in time to get off a good throw. So that ball went a long way opposite field.
And it was not windblown. What wind there is blowing in from right center.
And Moustakas is a pretty strong young guy.
So here's Francoeur hitting at .255, 8 homers and 26 driven in. Takes that fastball strike. Francoeur 3 for 7 last night with a homer. And lifetime against Peavy has faced him 21 times, has 8 hits.
Well, you don't have to throw Francoeur a strike. That's one of the secrets to getting him out. He's walked 15 times and 330 at bats. And Jake will probably use that aggressiveness against him at this point, now that he's down 0-2.
He gone.
There it is.
Two down.
0-2, and Jake just buries a slider. Nice job by Tyler Flowers. And they're pretty happy to have Chris Getz back. They're actually going to use a platoon system at second base. Getz is going to face the right-handers. Betancourt is going to face the left-handers.
Gets a .290, no homers and 8 driven in. Takes that breaking ball down and in. breaking ball strike. 1-1 to count. Alexei. He gone. Nice play. And we'll go to the third. No score. And a reminder, Hooters is the official road game restaurant of our White Sox. Come into any Chicagoland area Hooters. Our Sox are on the road to catch the games on their flat screen HD TVs and enjoy great Miller beer features. Hooters, well, they're the original wing joint. Tyler Flowers, Gordon Beckham, and Alejandro De Aza here in the top of the third inning. Tyler 2 for 4 lifetime off Hochevar with a homer.
Back on May 12th, we faced Hochevar. One of his best games of the year. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, walked only 1, fanning 5. And he won that game 5-0.
Moustakas. Yeah, that was when we were not swinging the bats real good.
No, and he just had one of those days that was absolutely outstanding.
Well, when you run across a guy like that, you're probably going to lose. But he's got his good stuff and his good control.
He's always had that kind of ability. He's just never been able to harness it over the long haul.
First pitch strike to Gordon, who was 1 for 5 last night with a big RBI, and he scored the winning run. Detroit threatened in the top of the 11th, but could not score. Cues that one, and Hosmer got no chance. Also, Cleveland tried to come back in that game with Toronto. They were trailing 11-4. They scored 5 in the 8th to make it 11-9, and that's how it wound up. So as we speak, our Sox 3.5 games in front of Cleveland and 3.5 games in front of the Tigers.
Last road trip, we picked up some ground on the road, something that's not easy to do. I'd love to be able to do it again this road trip, but again, it won't be easy because it ends with 3 in Detroit, and we should have our 3 aces going in that one if the schedule works out the way it should and there is no rain in the interim. That's what it looks like up to the moment. With that game heading to the bottom of the 11th in Baltimore.
1 out, and the payoff pitch to Beckham. And there's the walk.
Normally you could run off Hochevar, who's a tall right-hander. Takes him a while to deliver the ball. However, got a man behind the plate in Salvatore Perez, who is very accurate and very quick.
Gap out there in right center as De Aza, who struck out after an extended at bat in the first inning, fouling off a lot of pitches. And Beckham with a decent lead. Ball gets away. Beckham's going to go into second.
It's probably going to be the 3rd wild pitch of the year for Hochevar. And it is just that. That's probably a ball that Perez should have caught but didn't.
Now they're saying there was a pitching change in Baltimore. So the Tigers hitting with men on first and third, 2 out.
When you knew that most of the guys' fastballs that you were facing were up in the zone, like from the belt up, did you make any adjustment to that?
Well, you got to remember my time zone. It was a high fastball lead.
But that's the outside, the balloon chest protector.
Right. So most of the guys today are good low fastball hitters. Most of the guys in my time zone were good high fastball hitters.
Adjusting to what the umpire was calling.
Well, anything from the top of the thigh down was a ball.
Well, that was the days when the umpires stood right behind the catcher and looked down over his head.
Right.
And they could get a great look straight on at that fastball up high.
Fouls that back, and you can watch a game in luxury from behind home plate in the Gold Coast Tickets Club when our Sox are at home. Gold Coast Tickets, you got a guy. Seth Sherian and Max Waisman. There's a shot going foul. And the Tigers have just scored. It is now 5-4.
Well, that means Valverde comes in the game, and it lasts for another half hour in that heat in Baltimore. Maybe the O's can get to the big guy.
And another full count from Hochevar. This will be pitch number 46.
Well, he remembers how he got Diaz last time, and so does Perez, and that was on a breaking ball low and out of the strike zone. Let's see how he works him here.
And that ball hit deep into left center field. They're not going to get that one. So here comes Beckham on the double by Diaz. And that one-out walk crosses the plate. It is 1-0 White Sox.
He didn't go to the low breaking ball. He stayed with the fastball. And that fastball was up and away. They always play Diaz a lot more shallow than they probably should. The reason being that he's really strong.
Did you see Dyson? He almost got there.
I know.
That's unreal.
Well, he can fly.
Oh, man.
There's no doubt about that.
Well, I know he could run, but I mean, that was... Don't stop now, boys. Here's Uke. He struck out his first trip. Takes that breaking ball low and away.
And that time, Hochevar fell off the mound on the curveball. Maybe trying to get a little too much on it.
Checks it up, and the count 2-0.
Field to Jordan Baker, and he says no, he did not swing.
Oops. They're going to get him at third. And now, yep. So a brain cramp right there.
Yeah, I think Diaz might have thought that there was 2 outs. Otherwise, you can't possibly go on a hard hit ball to shortstop in front of you. Watch it again. This ball is hit well in front of him, and that's a Christmas present for Escobar and Moustakas.
So here's Adam. We don't make many mistakes like that. Or haven't, knock on wood. Lays off that breaking ball down and in. Cheever.
Well, he keeps pointing and he doesn't realize that it's the catcher or the manager that can make the appeal. So finally Perez looked down and asked Chris Guccione if he swung. No, he didn't.
Short lead by Uke. And the count 2-0. Grabs the strike with that changeup. And that curveball high and wide. So 3-1. Paulie on deck.
Ochever used a minimum of pitches to get out of the first 2 innings, but not this inning.
And there is the second walk of the inning.
He's used 24 pitches. And he still has 1 out to go.
And Paulie only saw 1 pitch leading off last inning and got jammed and hit a little looper to short. Breaking ball strike. Paulie says, why me?
Saved his best curveball for him on the first pitch on the outside corner.
Perez likes to visit.
I was saying 14 innings last night before he was taken out of the game for a pinch runner. He made 9 or 10 trips to the mound.
Breaking ball, a little chopper, gets. But the Sox get on the board. A walk to Beckham. RBI double by Diaz after 2.5. It's 1-0 good guys.
White Sox fans, log on to WGNTV.com and join the WGN Sports Game Zone, where you'll find up-to-the-minute stats and important game information. The Game Zone is sponsored by Safe Auto. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO now for a free quote with reduced rates up to 35%. Drive safe, spend less.
Salvador Perez gets set to lead off the Kansas City half of the 3rd inning. Sox lead at 1-0. 1-2-0 for us. 0-1-0 for them. 22-year-old catcher hitting at .385. 4 homers. He's driven in 8. He is 20 for 52. Takes first pitch strike.
He is a big young man. They list him at 6'3", 244. Got hurt in spring training.
Off the end of the bat, hit softly. Ball had a lot of spin on it. So 1 down. But I'm going to show you where we are with this club we've got. Ray Garcia, our PR department. You know, if you tell me you're going to use 6 rookie pitchers in a game, I'm going to tell you, you probably got a hammer. Okay?
Yeah, you were probably down 10-0, and then
Exactly.
you decide to empty out your bullpen.
Well, we didn't use 6 rookie pitchers last night. We used 8. And I got to say that Elias Sports Bureau says last night the White Sox became the first team in baseball history to use 8 rookie pitchers in a game.
It's pretty amazing. But when you have only one healthy veteran, and that's Matt Thornton, there's nothing much Robin can do.
First team in baseball history to use 8 rookie pitchers in a game. Line shot by Jared Dyson on a breaking pitch.
You know,
He is 16 for 19 in stolen bases.
you would have thought that would have happened when they expanded the rosters in September somewhere along the line. But obviously it never has, and last night was history. That was a long way to go, but when you come out on the winning end on the road of one of those extravaganzas, you'll feel pretty good about coming back to the ballpark the next day.
Well, obviously, there's some very talented 8 rookie pitchers we ran out there last night.
Now, some terrific arms, and Septimo helped himself with a big pickoff at second base of Jared Dyson, who almost was doubled off on the play before, and then was ready to go to third, only to see that inside move to second cut him down.
Gordon was robbed of extra bases on a brilliant play. There he goes. $17 for 20.
Not an easy ball to handle. Throw is on the right side of the bag, meaning the first base side of the bag. Maybe you get a swipe tag, but Dyson just too fast.
2-0 pitch. And if you miss that catch by Piazza,
There were 2 terrific defensive plays in that first inning, or it could have turned out completely different for Jake.
and Alexei better hang out around second base. Short lead by Dyson.
Well, especially with 1 out, Dyson might be thinking about stealing third. The urgency wouldn't be there with 2 outs.
Three and 1 to count with Escobar on deck. Breaking ball hit hard but foul, so a full count.
That's what Jake does as well as anybody around. When he gets into a hitter's count, a fastball count like 3-1, 2-0, he takes a little something off. Lets the guy hit the ball very hard, makes him feel real good about himself, but it's almost always foul.
And there's the base hit. So he'll score. And the game is tied at 1.
That time Jake did go to the fastball, and Gordon, who had hit the ball hard the first time, drives in run number 30. Jake wanted to keep it inside, and Gordon able to get the good part of the bat on it. So just like that, it's what it was last night. We'd score, they'd score. We'd score, they'd score.
They'd score, we'd score.
And that's exactly what happened through 14.
Escobar hit the ball hard. Tricky hop. A lot of top spin down to Uke. Knocked it down, picked it up, and threw him out. Gordon 3 for 6 in stolen bases.
They've got some excellent base stealers on this team. Gordon just not one of them.
That ball hit hard. And it is a 3-1 Kansas City lead.
Just the third home run of the year. Mercedes Escobar, he's now driven in 26. And for Jake, the 13th home run he's given up in 123 innings. Tries to get inside with a fastball. And he's not getting inside on these Kansas City hitters.
So Hosmer goes out, 2 down. Butler got a high breaking pitch and hammered it for a single into left field. And the Orioles have just tied up the game at 5. Still hitting bottom of the 11th against Detroit. And Valverde.
It's a different Jose Valverde this year. Last year 49 for 49. This year he's merely mortal.
1-2 the count.
Billy Butler, another first round pick of this team, 14th pick overall in 2004.
He gone, but a crooked number goes up on that board. We'll go to the 4th, trailing 3-1.
Cubs Diamondbacks, Sunday 2 East, 11 West on WGN America.
We trail by 2 here in the top of the 4th inning. 3-4-0 for the Royals. 1-2-0 for our guys. It'll be Rios, Ramirez, and Viciedo. Alex doubles over the head of Gordon in left field in the 2nd inning. Takes ball 1. Doubles his 21st. They're in the 12th inning now in Baltimore, tied at 5 with Detroit. Wouldn't mind them seeing them go 15 or 16.
No. Run through that Detroit bullpen a bit. Hochevar's been falling off the mound to the first base side, and he's been doing it kind of awkwardly, and that's going to affect his control. He doesn't have, to this point, real good control, and he couldn't find it this time.
And there's the dreaded leadoff walk. And here comes Alexei. He went out to right center. Make your plans to be with us tomorrow afternoon, 1:10 starting time. Chris Sale against Luis Mendoza. And that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet.
Let's watch Hochevar again, and that front foot, the landing foot, seems to slide somewhat. And that's causing that fastball to stay out of the zone. He's already walked 3.
High pop-up. One out. And here's Viciedo. He bounced out to Moustakas. There goes. Pitch out.
They guessed right. Normally that sign is given from the bench. And Perez, with a clean throw, put it right on the money. He got him fairly easily.
And last night, the Tank, we were trailing 5-3, 2 men on. It is now 6-5 Sox. Tank now with 15 homers and 42 knocked in.
Well, he'd love to see one down somewhere between the knee and the ankle. That's for him his sweet spot. Not up there. A little bit lower than that.
Faking ball, and that'll do it. We get the leadoff walk, the pitch out, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing by 2. Fans, tonight we want to recognize Brown & Brown Chevrolet for their support of Manteno youth baseball and softball. Now, your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are supporting over 30,000 young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program by providing leagues with equipment kits, instructional clinics, and financial support. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Mike Moustakas takes a breaking ball strike. They fly deep to left field, taking Tank up against that fence. Ball comes up on Gordon's. Got him. 1 out. 3 runs on 4 hits for their guys. 1 run on 2 hits for our guys. And that'll bring up Francoeur, who struck out.
Dayton Moore, the GM, is thinking about making a trade. Doesn't like to say that he's going to be a seller. But for the most part, that's what he is going to be. With a team that's just not ready to win yet because of their pitching being decimated by injury and lack of performance. One of the guys that wouldn't mind dealing would be Francoeur. The guy by the name of Will Myers that is ready to go. Should come up anytime.
Two and 1 to count to the 28-year-old outfielder. Better outfielder. fielders in all of baseball.
With a great and very accurate arm.
2-2.
Big problem that he's always had coming up with the Braves has been selectivity and lack thereof on pitches out of the zone.
Ball hit hard but foul.
Jake about ready to deliver pitch number 50.
Most of the time when a guy gets like that, it's because he's thinking something mechanical rather than an approach. And the approach is the thing. There's a line shot. The approach can take care of some mechanics.
Well, Jake knows there that he made a mistake because he got that one a little closer than he would like to a man who swings at just about everything.
So here's Chris Getz. He grounded out softly to Alexei at short.
Chris has been hurt for a good part of this year. Only played in 36 games. When he does play on a regular basis, he's one of their best base stealers.
Goal 21 last year. And there's a base hit. Well, Francoeur will pull up at second. Six hits now for Kansas City.
That time, Jake wanted to get a fastball inside. That's been one of the big problems, is his inability to hit that inside corner with a fastball. Normally, he doesn't have a great deal of trouble doing that, but because a lot of them are drifting back out over the plate, Royals have had very good swings at it.
That'll bring up Salvador Perez, who grounded out to Alexei. 1 out, 2 on. Count evens. Are the finale of this 3-game set, and it's off to Boston for a 4-game series. And we finish up this 10-game road trip after that 4 games with the Carmines, 3 in Detroit. High pop up right side, Adel. Two down. So here's Dyson. Garrett started off that 3-run third with a 1-out single, and he stole second and scored on a single by Gordon. Did not check it up. Last year at Omaha, Dyson hit .279, 3 homers, drove in 26, had 38 stolen bases and 40 attempts.
That's pretty good.
White Sox shout out for Bill and Oni Wren up at Crystal Lake. Big Sox fans looking in. One and two the count.
Big Sox fan and big-time insurance executive Jill Estep looking on in Phoenix. Is a bit toasty this time of year. Also, speedy recovery to Mark Brock. He's a little under the weather.
Too high. We're not chasing. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
This becomes a huge out with Gordon on deck, the way he's hit the ball twice against Jake.
And that's going foul.
Young man ecstatic over a souvenir. And of course, it's picture time.
Little better swing at that one on a pitch up at 92. Now a full count.
And the big advantage because of the speed of Dyson. If you put it in play on 2-2, you might have a force out. 3-2, that force out's pretty much out of the equation.
Tops that one foul.
Been a good at bat and a good battle between Peavy and Dyson. It's the 9th pitch of the at bat.
And there's a pick. Nice play by Adam. Jay gets the bag. So they threaten, can't score. We'll go to the 5th. It's still 3-1 Royals.
The 5th inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank. Member FDIC.
We need some runs, boys. Top of the 5th inning, we trail 3-1. It'll be Flowers, Beckham, and Diaza. Sox with the 3rd best road record in Major League Baseball. Coming in at 24-16. Yankees on the road 27-17. Fouls that one back. Tyler 0 for 1. Grounded out to Moustakas at 3rd.
Freddie Garcia 1-1 today for the Yankees as they beat the Angels. Freddie now 4-2, despite having a 5.25 ERA.
Yes, he did. 2-2. That's a fair ball. Moustakas going to get him again. So here's Gordon, who had a good at bat with one out in the third inning, finally drawing a walk and then coming around the score. Outfield way around to the right, gap out there in left center.
With all the problems Hochevar has had getting the fastball over the plate, he hasn't had any problems getting the curveball over.
A little tardy on that one.
.75 pitch mark with one out here in the fifth.
Good eye, good take. Little pop up off the end of the bat, and it's not playable. Just joining us, Sox with one in the third. Kansas City came right back with 3 in the bottom of the third. RBI single by Gordon and a 2-run homer by Alcides Escobar.
Dyson is well around into right center field. Gordon. Big gap in left center and down the line and left.
Two and two. They're into the 13th inning in Baltimore. And there's a shot. It's going to hang up for Dyson. Almost misjudges it. That's a hang whiffle for Beckham.
Gordon hit the daylights out of that one, and Jared Dyson thought it was going to be a sinking line drive.
Dyson looks a little shaky out there.
Told you the routes he takes on occasion.
Exciting, huh?
They're very exciting for Ned Yost and for who's ever pitching. That came an eyelash from going over his head and probably turning into a 3-base hit.
So here's Diaza at RBI double. Takes ball 1. And that's fair. Going to be at least 2. Now he's going to turn it on. And the throw safe. Alejandro picks up his 5th 3-bagger.
There's a lot of people that don't realize when you come out of the box and you're thinking about the difference between a double and a triple. Yes, Francoeur has a terrific arm and it's very accurate. However, you're running on the relay man. In this case, you're running on Chris Getz. And Getz doesn't have a big arm. That's one of the reasons why Diaza turned it on. It was not a good throw. A 2-hopper that was well off the bag. Now, you might not do the same thing with Escobar, who's got a rocket for an arm at shortstop, but you will run on Getz when he's the relay man.
So here's Uke. 0 for 2. Strikeout and head to a 6-5 fielder's choice. Takes ball 1. To count.
He's used both the slider and the curveball to neutralize Youkilis to this point.
Big pitch goes Uke's way. 2-1. Now field straight up. Spread out about equidistant. Stock is back and off the line at third. Hosmer well off the line at first. Adam Dunn on deck and a 2-2 count to Uke. That is back out of play. There's that good curveball. We're halfway home. We need 2 to tie.
The fifth inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank, member FDIC.
It'll be the top of the order here in the bottom of the 5th for Kansas City as they lead 3-1. Gordon, Escobar, and Hosmer to face Jake Peavy. All 3 runs coming in the 3rd inning. For the Royals, we also got ours in the 3rd. First pitch strike. Gordon has been robbed of extra bases on a beautiful play by Diaz in center, banging into the center field fence as he made the catch, and then he had an RBI single. And there's a chopper to Hopper. So 1 out.
Let's take a look at what Escobar did in the 3rd inning. Hitting just his 3rd home run of the year. Got a fastball and hit it into the bullpen. See what's possible with AT&T Uverse TV and AT&T high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
Young man, as we talked about, just a whole ton of talent right there. Alcides Escobar.
We saw Lorenzo Cain have a big night last night. He's another guy came over in that Greinke deal. Kansas City did pretty well. And Milwaukee, although they're not having the kind of year they thought they were going to have due to a lot of injuries, they're very happy with Zach Greinke.
Pop up. We have a moment. Want to send out a big shout out to Tom Carter, GM at Knollwood Country Club in Granger, along with Dick Palmer, Tony, all the great folks there for putting on such a tremendous 3-day event there at Knollwood. So congratulations. There's a chopper foul. Go out to our son Casey. They won that event. Casey's Shot 66 today, 11 under for the 3 days.
Well, congratulations. That's pretty exciting.
I told him this morning it was your birthday. He said, happy birthday, Steve.
I'll shoot 66 for you. I've done that a number of occasions, but I've stopped after 14 holes.
He gone. 2 down. 4th strikeout for the Jake Meister.
What happens to Hosmer? Last year he had 293. Looked like one of the bright young stars on the horizon, and this year seemingly swinging at everything. He's into 220s.
Well, you just said it. Last year he was swinging at everything and hitting a lot of it. He had some of the biggest play coverage you and I have ever seen.
It's true.
Hitting the ball hard. And this year they're pitching him where he's not looking. These guys have a habit up here of finding that hole. He's got a couple of holes. But if you make a mistake, he is really dangerous. There's another good pitch to hit. He jams himself and pops it up. He's had plenty of good pitches to hit in these first 2 games and just hadn't done it. Meanwhile, we'll go to the 6th. It's still 3-1 Royals.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago White Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox.
And a very happy birthday to my partner, Steve Stone, once again, as we trail this one 3-1. But so far, Jake just had the one tough inning, but he's saving that bullpen.
He's got to go deep into the game. There's no doubt that the bullpen needs a little bit of rest, and there's no doubt that Jake needs some runs. The reason why he's just 7-5 is lack of offensive support, and tonight so far has been no exception.
Well, he's been wearing it all year. Somebody has to wear it for many years. Mark Burley wore it. He'd go out there and pitches behind off and come up empty as far as run support or defense behind him. But our pitchers have not had any problems with the defense this year. It has been superb.
Well, Miami has gotten Burley 2 runs in 6 innings tonight, but he's leading 2-1
Against who's Gio Gonzalez?
against Gio Gonzalez and those red-hot Washington Nationals who are 50-34.
Breaking ball, foul down. Well, Mark's pitched well all year down there. He again has been a victim of no run support. That's up high, 1-2. Adam is grounded to first and walked.
Miami came in 10 games in back of Washington, so this is a big game for them. The team that's making their move in the NL East, the Atlanta Braves, won their 6th in a row, came from 2 runs back, and beat the Mets today 8-7.
2-2 pitch. That ball hit high and deep, stretch. Dyson back at the wall, looks up. You can put it on the ball. Yes.
You can put it.
A bomb. Twice you can put it on the board.
You can put that over a couple of boards.
Over everything out there in center field, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Mercy. Big one. Showtime.
27th home run. He's driven in 64. And he gets us within 1. That one out over the plate. It was a slider. And Adam, when he can extend his hands and arms, he can hit it as far as anybody in the game and farther than most.
So here's Paulie. Takes that curveball high. That ball was hit a ton over everything out there in center field.
My philosophy was always don't give up wall scrapers. They're frustrating. But You're going to give him up? Give him up long.
There's a breaking ball strike. And watch where this ball goes. Over everything there. Wow. And there's the base hit for Paulie.
I think they're calling that one 459 feet. As Paulie takes one through the left side. Just past Moustakas. Now Perez going out to give Hochevar a breath.
Well, I was talking about long ones. I was talking with a former teammate of mine as now Ed Yost comes out of the dugout. Former teammate of mine, Lou Krause. And Lou is from Kansas City, lives here. Pitched for the A's. Pitched for a number of teams, Atlanta, Boston. But one thing about it, he could throw them a long way. I reminded him, I should say, the one he threw to Adolfo Phillips down in Dallas. I thought he was going to come through that telephone and get me. So anyway, Hochevar takes a quick exit. He departs, and we'll be back.
When you think mother, think America. WGN America. How I Met Your Mother. Sunday starting at 7:30 East, 4:30 West on WGN America.
And out of the bullpen comes Aaron Crow. Crow at 1-1 ERA. 389 out for the 41st time. He pitched an inning and a third last night, gave up a hit, no runs. He struck out one. Another former #1 draft pick, originally drafted by Washington Nationals, did not sign. Next year drafted by a team very close to where he lives, and he did sign.
Val's first pitch back does Alex Rios. Alex has doubled and he has walked. So a 3-2 ball game on a tremendous home run off the bat of Adam Dunn. Paulie at first, nobody out here in the top of the 6th. And he is just underneath that one. Get out of here. Nope. For 1 out. And that'll bring up Alexei. Tigers took a 6-5 lead. Baltimore has tied it up.
So Valverde, Luisave, and Benoit Luisave.
That ball gets away, so Paulie in the second.
If you got as sharp breaking a curveball as Crow, you're going to throw some wild pitches. That's his second of the year. Perez is having some problems stopping pitches down, pitches that he has a chance to smother, but just didn't.
Now you're talking about guys blowing a save. It was before your time, but back when I first came in and they just started to come in with a save. It was interesting to see. Guys could create their own saves. There's a shot right to Moustakas. That's a hang with him for Alexei.
He could hardly hit the ball any harder, but unfortunately Moustakas right there. Moustakas has a lot of dust in that glove.
A lot of something in there.
Because every time a ball lands in it, I see a puff of smoke.
Like when Gaylord Perry would throw the old puff ball. was a lot of fun watching those guys, how some of them would come in. They would have a 5-run lead with 2 innings to go. First thing you know, they created a save. Finally, they wised up to rules makers and law breakers and ironed that out. Tank fouls it away. Yeah, there were some altercations about that. Starting pitchers to relievers.
I would think that would be a bit of a problem.
Yeah. As I said, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And Baltimore has come back and won that ball game. Eight to 6. So the Indians lose, the Tigers lose. But we're losing here 3-2. Top of the 6th inning.
Long way to go yet against a bullpen that has been less than overwhelming.
A full count. Just a gorgeous evening here in the heart of Mid-America. Big crowd last night. Not as many tonight. That ball hit hard in the right field. Nobody's going to get that one, and this ball game is going to be tied. So Tank now making the turn. He's on his way to third. He will get there as Canoco scores. So the first triple of the year for Viciedo. And we are locked up at 3.
RBI number 43 for Viciedo. As they get that breaking ball out away. And he's so strong that no chance at all for Frank Gore, who seems to play everybody fairly shallow in right field. Again, because Getz is the relay man. That's the second triple of the night.
And here's Tyler. Twice he has gone out to third. Now make it foul. Yeah, last night 32,744. Mentioned Kansas City outdrawing us. Kansas City averaging 23,801. We averaged 23,091. Out of play. To the count. 3-6-0 for us, 3-6-0 for them.
That was a nice stop by Perez. The go-ahead run 90 feet away. Cross that plate, a homer by Dunn, the RBI triple by Viciedo. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 3.
So anyway, I've been to a lot of places. You know, I've helped a lot of people save a lot of money. But today, things have been a little strange. Meep, meep. What a strange strange place.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We got ourselves a 3-3 tie here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Butler, Moustakas, and Francoeur to face Jake Peavy.
Jake's got a new life. He is right back in the middle of this game.
Butler takes strike one. He has singled sharply into left field and struck out. Chopper to Hopper. One down. I guess it was a 2-run homer by Taylor Teagarden in that Baltimore game. Bottom of the 13th. Wanted 8-6.
Now perhaps that Tiger bullpen might be getting a little overused.
Hit hard but foul by Moustakas, who has gone out deep to left field and grounded to second.
No doubt Valverde has not been the same. Benoit is not a closer any longer, and he was asked to close today, and it didn't work out for him.
Takes it up. And a count 1-2. So again, a reminder, tomorrow afternoon, 1:10 start. Chris Sale against Luis Mendoza. That game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Mendoza has the best ERA of any starter on this team, and his ERA is 4.5.
That's short into center field. Going to fall for a base hit. Right off the end of the bat.
It's a breaking ball that Moustakas doesn't get a whole lot of, but because you have to respect his power, Piazza was deep and the ball fell in front of him.
Francoeur has struck out and he has singled. A little tardy on that one, and the count 0-1. Cubs beat the D-backs 4-1 at Wrigley.
Ryan Dempster has 33 consecutive scoreless innings.
Does that surprise you? No, he's a good one. Dempster is a good one.
Now the question being for the Cubs, who are they going to trade him to, and what are they going to get in return? He's got a lot of value.
Yeah, they should get something really nice for Ryan. There goes the runner. He gone. He knew it. 2 down. Yeah, with the races the way they are, Dempster's going to command a nice return.
Got him by plenty, and he got a face burger for his efforts. Now 3 out of 5 in stolen bases is Moustakas.
Three and 1. That's out of play. When you get a guy who can start on any staff in baseball, you're going to get a nice return.
You would think so.
2 out in the payoff pitch. That's the first walk issued by Jake.
Pitcher who doesn't walk anybody and a hitter who hardly ever walks and turns into his 16th walk of the year. 333 at-bats.
Biscuits is 1 for 2. A line shot single into center field. Last time up. Takes a breaking ball strike. That's trouble. Get it back in. Get it back in. He hits the cutoff man. Now they're going to have to hold it. Good job, Alex Rios.
Well, I thought Kansas City caught a break for a moment that ball stayed in the park because it looked like Frank Coeur had a shot of scoring. I thought he might have slowed down coming into third base as Getz, not expected to pull the ball, takes it down the line. Almost one hops out of the park. But Alex does a great job of getting it back in, getting it right to Beckham. We talked about arm strength on the relay. And both of our guys throw the ball exceptionally well.
Well, as far as hitting the cutoff man this year, this has been as good a job through 88 games that I've ever seen. I don't care what outfield you're talking about. They have been terrific at hitting that cutoff man. So here's Salvador Perez.
Well, if that wasn't a perfect play on the carry him off the wall and then a strike to Beckham, most likely they send Frank Coeur. But as it turned out, he would have been out dead to rights.
Count with Jared Dyson on deck. One of the big outs in this game right here. And the count 3-0.
It looked like he took a look at the batting averages, and he might just be pitching around Perez. Although Dyson's hit the ball pretty well twice.
And that ball hit deep into right field. Alex, yes! Tracking it nice, got there, got a good jump, and that'll retire the side. So some superb defensive play from our Sox has kept this to a 3-3 tie.
Let's take a look at that play one more time. And it was a dandy. That would have scored 2, but Alex Rios goes all the way back on the warning track, and with a couple of steps to spare, Jake Peavy, a very happy man to see this game still tied. The Anything is Possible play is brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible.
Here's Beckham. Top of the 7th, 3-6-0 for us, 3-8-0 for them. Takes ball 1.
I haven't had a couple of words with Jake, probably asking him what he's got left in the tank on a very warm, very humid night, Kansas City.
They probably told him that you're talking to the wrong guy.
Find out
you know what I got left.
Find out if Rios's legs will hold up.
2-1. Gordon has walked and scored, and then he had a shot, a screaming Mimi right at Dyson, who almost misjudged it. Souvenir right side. 2-2 to Beckham. And there's a solid single to center. So a good way to start it. And here comes Yost. And he wants the left-hander. So Beckham.
Jose Majares comes into the game. Aaron Crow will depart the game, and we'll step out. Be back after these messages. With the go-ahead runner first base, Jose Majares comes into the game at 2-1. The ERA 159 on for the 43rd time. He is very much a situational left-hander.
Fouls that back into the seats. Majares went 2/3 of an inning last night.
Good place to bunt it with Moustakas charging. And a pitcher falling off the mound to the third base side is right it gets.
That'll get the job done. Fires a seed right there to Getz. So the sacrifice 1-4.
Good bunt by Alejandro, leaving Majares with just one play. That's the third sacrifice by Diaza this year. He deadens it very well. They're not going to take any chances with Youkilis.
Dunn on deck, who's 0 for 2 versus Majares. One of those at-bats coming last night when Majares struck him out.
Last inning, leading off our fourth drive of the game is a towering home run, estimated at 459 feet. Over just about everything except the Jumbotron in center field.
So 2 on, 1 out. And a 3-3 tie here in the top of the 7th. Good take. 1-0 the count. They got the modified shift on. And the count 2-0.
It's Greg Holland, who has exceptional stuff, but has had a control problem this year. He's warming up in the pen.
And Erko on deck.
Knowing how Ned Yost loves to change pitchers, looks like it'll be Holland against Konerko. Assuming Adam does not ground into a double play.
That's upper tank left side. 2-2 the count to Dunn.
Send Perez out there one more time.
And if you're looking for a flexible ticket plan, the White Sox Pick 7 and Pick 14 let you build a ticket plan around the games you want to attend, and plans start at just $61. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. And here comes Yost.
Long, slow walk to the mound for Edgar Frederick Yost III. Ball to the pen. That's going to be Holland coming into the game as Maharis leaves. And we'll step out and be back after these messages.
WGN America is, wait for it, the home of the superfan. Join the How I Met Your Mother conversation now at facebook.com/meetitmclarens.
Holland threw a perfect inning last night. He's got some pretty impressive numbers, but the walks are problematic. 33 games, 30 2/3 innings, 20 walks, with 45 strikeouts to go with it. So he gives up a lot of base runners, a lot of those really good curveballs, and he's got to dandy it straight over the top. None of those wind up in the dirt.
So 2 on 2 out. Here's Paulie. He's 1 for 3, but he has faced Holland 4 times. He has 3 hits. Takes it up high. Beckham at second. Uke at first. And there's the strike. And now the edge, the advantage goes to Holland. 1-2 the count. There's a high chopper. Stockers, the long throw is low, but Hosmer picks it, and it saves a run. 7th inning stretch, tied at 3.
Miller Lite keeps you up to date on all the scores and games around Major League Baseball.
It's the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Dyson, then back to the top of the order with Alex Gordon and Alcides Escobar.
I think you have to watch a bunt with Dyson.
First pitch strike. Dyson is 1 for 2 with a single, stolen base, and a run scored.
He's hit the ball awfully hard, but if he drags it with him, it's going to be a very tough play. Euclid in on the grass at third. Take away a push bunt. And now no bunt. Apparently, in asking Jake how he felt, he said just fine.
To the count. Would not bite at that one.
Pitch number 98 on the way.
Shuffle, nice play to get the speedy Jared Dyson. So 1 out, and a reminder, stay connected to your Sox all season long. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, pin us on Pinterest, and reblog our unique Tumblr content. So visit whitesox.com/connect today.
And a nice job by Tyler Flowers going out there, because he's not telling Jake anything he doesn't know. What he's doing is allowing a man who has just sprinted to first base very close to 100 pitches to get a breath.
First pitch strike to Gordon, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Three 7-0 for us, 3 8-0 for them. He gone. 2 down.
Took a little something off this one. Ed Gordon well out in front of it. Don Cooper now calling the bullpen, as Jake is just touched over the 100 mark.
Escobar 1 for 3, but it was a big one, a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. And that might be another one. It's a 4-3 Kansas City lead.
Yes, we're at 2 home runs all year coming into this, and he's got 2 tonight. Three of the 4 runs driven home have been courtesy of the home run by Alcides Escobar, and it's another fastball. It's in the same spot that he hit it out the last time.
Well, from what we know of Escobar, you don't want him to beat you on a fastball. He had that triple on a fastball last night, a 2-run triple.
Yeah, that was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
He can cover the fastball. I mean, that's just that simple. He can cover the fastball. Hosmer, big hack. Chops that one foul.
last 2 games, Escobar has hit 2 home runs, driven in 6 runs on the fastball.
It doesn't matter if it's inside or outside. He still gets good swings at it.
You got another good pitch to hit right there and underneath it. And that's lifted, going foul. And you can join the White Sox mobile group today by texting Ultimate to 244-769. Mobile users get exclusive offers, deals, and contest info. And joining enters you in the drawing for our Ultimate Fan Package. That's where a lucky fan, as that pitches into left field. Tank coming on. He's there. Makes the catch. That'll retire the side. So text Ultimate to 244-769. A homer by Escobar. They lead it 4-3.
Cubs Diamondbacks, Sunday 2 East, 11 West on WGN America.
It's a 4-3 Kansas City lead here in the top of the 8th inning.
Courtesy of
Rios, Ramirez, and Viciado.
Courtesy of that man you're looking at right there, Cities Escobar. What a night he's had. What a series he's had.
Alex takes ball 1. Two and 0. That's a souvenir right side. He was looking for it, got it, and just underneath it.
98-mile-an-hour fastball. And you would think with a hack like that, when a hitter is right on your 98, next one's the over-the-top hook. Got one right down the middle, and he knows he's not going to get that one again.
That was a get-me-over breaking ball, and he is really hot at himself, as he should be.
Well, he got the hanger after the fastball was right down the middle. He got a hanging curveball, and Alex, who's been swinging the bat as well as anybody around, just gets under it.
So he is 1 for 3 with that double back in the second. Then he walked in the fourth. So here is Alexei. He's 0 for 3 last time up. He hit just a linea right to Moustakas at third. And that one at 96 fouled away. There's a chopper. Can't get him. Good try, but couldn't get him.
Well, as good an arm as Escobar has, he's running away from that throw. Had it pretty much floated across because he had no chance to set his feet. It's a good effort, but Ramirez about a step too quick.
So here's Tank. Tank 1 for 3, an RBI triple in the 6th. That tied the ball game up at 3. Upstairs at 97. Got to make Holland get it down.
I'm assuming he's going to try to keep it up there to Viciedo.
That one at 97. And the count 0-2. Tyler Flowers now going back to the bench, and AJ coming out on deck. Now Tim Cheetah's going to get Salvador Perez a couple of minutes to shake it off.
Chance to clear his head a touch.
To the count to Viciedo. Ground it out with him, Tank. Come on, buddy. Two down. And here comes AJ.
There's no
AJ
doubt.
was 4 for 7 last night.
No doubt that the Holland curveball, even if it stays up in the zone, it breaks so sharply that it's really tough to handle.
There are the numbers on AJ: 292, 16, and the big RBI last evening, that was number 50. Outfield for the most part. Straight up here, a little deeper. Nice gap out there in left center if he can find it. That one at 98. Moustakas now right over the top. Nice shift by Hosmer. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. We need one to tie.
AJ stays in the game behind the plate. Jake Peavy pleaded his case and got himself at least the start of this bottom of the 8th inning. Hoping to hold him right there and watch his team come back and score a pair in the 9th.
It'll be Butler, Moustakas, and Francoeur. Butler has singled, struck out, and grounded to short. Activity down in that Kansas City pen. There's a breaking ball strike, 1-1.
That's the closer, Jonathan Broxton, who could not get the job done last night. Blew his 4th save of the year.
Deflected, picked down, cannot make it, so it'll be a base hit.
I think maybe if Gordon had to do it over again and realized it was Butler running down the line, he would have fielded it with his glove. Because Billy Butler's not all that fast. He had some time to get him. Now Butler will leave. And Bourgeois will come into the game.
And here's Moustakas. He's 1 for 3. Had a little soft single in the center field back in the 6th inning. One of the better right-handed moves to first base in the league. Outfield straight up, spread out about equidistant. Youkilis well off the line at third. Count. Mike Moustakas. Break. You got to get the hitter, regardless of who's on first. 2-0 the count. There he goes. That ball is rifled into the seats.
Here's a situation with a fastball again that Jake took a little something off and had Moustakas well out in front of it. So here comes pitch number 116 for Jake. He's a little closer at first base.
turn and trouble brewing here in the bottom of the 8th. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
Love to see if Robin decides to go get him. As Moustakas with his second hit.
Rancourt, he's 1 for 2, a strikeout, a single, and a base on ball. So trailing 4-3, they got to play the infield in. And Chris Getz on deck. Sitting right in the catbird seat. Infield in. Man on third. 2-0 the count. That is heaven for a hitter. And there's a base hit. So it is 5-3.
Band number 27 for Frank Gore.
And here comes Robin.
To a drawn-in infield. No chance for this one. And Jake will depart.
So Jake will go 7+. He knew he had to go deep in this ball game. He did. Unfortunately, he's given up 5 runs. He departs, and we'll be back. Miller Sox and Camarena Tequila both know that giving anything less than 100% just is not good enough. That's why Camarena only offers award-winning 100% blue agave tequila. Camarena Tequila is a proud sponsor of our White Sox.
And Hector Santiago comes into the game. He's got 2 on, nobody out, trailing by a pair, and can ill afford to fall any further behind. But you would think that Chris Getz, who's just an outstanding butter, would be laying this one down right at Euclid.
One in, 2 on, nobody out. And he takes ball 1.
Santiago went a third of an inning last night.
There's the bunt. This looks to third. So the sacrifice 3-4.
7th sacrifice of the year for Getz. He deadens it enough. Adam thought about it for a second there, but realized that he'd really be opening it up for a big inning if he didn't get him. So now you figure they put Perez at first base. Take their chances with a little be Kane for Dyson.
And while we have a moment, Red Sox fan Steve and Bonnie Dosman watching in right now. We need your support, Steve and Bonnie. We're in a big jam, trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the 8th, and they're threatening for more. So Lorenzo Cain had 3 hits last night. Virtually all the season he has missed with a couple of injuries. Came in the last night's ball game just 2 for 15 on the season.
Well, he hurt his knee in spring training running into a wall. Then he went on a rehab and he tore a hip flexor, and that set him back. But they believe that he can be just an outstanding center fielder, and we saw just glimpses of that last night.
So Sox packed with Royals. 1 out. And takes ball 1. 3 hits and 2 RBIs last night. Got his average up to 238 with no homers. 2 RBIs. Up right side, Souvenir. Big pitch coming up. You don't want to go 3 balls. 2-1 to count to Cain. Another absolutely salivating situation for a hitter. You know what's coming. Line shot right to Tank. So the tag, and it's a 6-3 ball game. That ball was scolded.
Cain drives just his 3rd run of the year, but he crushed this ball, making it a 3-run lead.
There are a lot of guys going to crush that ball in that situation with a 2-1 count. That's what hitting is about.
Bases loaded and knowing that probably going to get a fastball.
Gordon will be the hitter. He is 1 for 4. An RBI single and a run scored back in the 3rd inning. Oh, Alexei with a catch, a beautiful diving catch to save one more run. Oh, what a play. Meanwhile, they score 2. We'll go to the 9th, trailing 6-3. First.
Protecting the plate for the Royals tonight is Salvador Perez. He had an 11-game hitting streak between June 22nd and July 5th. During that streak, he had 425, 3 home runs, 7 driven in, and 3 doubles. One of the promising young catchers in baseball. This Catcher Profile is sponsored by Xfinity Home. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family, anytime, anywhere. And Jonathan Broxton comes into the game. It is a save situation. 21 for 25, including the one last night that he didn't get the job done. But his ERA is still 2.20.
All right, boys, we need to get at least 3. And a good man to start us off, Gordon Beckham, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Broxton, a big man, got him listed at 6'4", 300. Out of Waynesboro, Georgia. Takes first pitch strike.
Lorenzo Cain stays in the game in center field after driving home a run with a sacrifice. Well, we'll call it a line drive. Wasn't really a sacrifice fly.
The count. And a reminder, after the game, stay tuned for the 9 o'clock news with Robert Jordan, Jackie Bang, Jim Ramsey with the weather, and Rich King. All the sports highlights. Almost walked into it. And the count 2-1. Just tuning in, Toronto beat Cleveland 11-9. Baltimore 13 defeated Detroit 8-6. Tigers got 3 in the top of the 9th to tie that game at 4. And that's a souvenir right side, even to count at 2. Diaz on deck. And if you're hitting the road, take our socks with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv to see every White Sox out-of-market game live online on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit whitesox.com.
Broxton blew the save last night, almost lost the game, but for a call at the plate that was somewhat controversial. Hudson getting thrown out by Francoeur. Talked to Orlando today, and he said he never was tagged.
Broken bat, a little soft grounder. So 1 out. Here's Alejandro. He is 2 for 3, an RBI double, a triple, also a sacrifice bunt. Ball 1. Count evens at 1.
Broxton was used as both a setup man and a closer for the Dodgers in his time there, but hurt his elbow, and then the Dodgers pretty much let him go.
There's a chopper 2 hopper. It's up to you. And most of the 24,998 on their feet.
Duke is 0 for 3. Slowly hit Escobar, and this ball game is over. So the Sox come back to tie it up at 3, and then Royals with 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. They win it 6-3, and we'll be back.
Can I have everyone's attention, please?
Everyone, if I may direct your attention to the television.
WGN.
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 WGN America.
WGN America.
Where the fans are in charge.
This is WGN America, home to the biggest shows on television.
The biggest shows on TV.
Mr. Danny DeVito!
Nice. Looks like WGN America filled out in all the right places.
I want to go to there.
You're good, WGN America. You're very good.
Right now it's time to check out our Miller Lite player of the game. It is their shortstop, Alcides Escobar. 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. And another solo shot in the 7th. 2 homers, 3 RBIs. Our Miller Lite player of the game, Alcides Escobar, and we'll be back. Chicago White Sox baseball has been brought to you by Miller Lite. When you have friends and a light beer that tastes like a beer should, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. The Illinois Lottery. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery, anything's possible. And by Ford, proud sponsor of your Chicago White Sox and proud of our Chicago-built Ford Explorer. Check it out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. And now let's check out the totals on the second of this 3-game set. Sox won it last night, 9-8 in 14 innings. Tonight, though, 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors. For the Royals, they left 7. For our guys, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. We left 8. Holland, the winner, he is 3-2. The Jake Meister. Jake Peavy takes the loss. He's 7-6. Credit Broxton with his 22nd save of the season. And a reminder, our next White Sox telecast will be Tuesday night when our Sox take on the Boston Red Sox. The Fenway Park. Our broadcast begins at 6 p.m. over WCIU-TV. Now, WGN America viewers, tune in Saturday, August 4th, when our Sox battle the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at US Cellular Field. Join us at 5:30 p.m. for White Sox warm-up right here over WGN TV. And Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition was brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. So for my partner Steve Stone, for our director Jim Angier, our producer John Waldron, for the mayor Mean Joe Groove, also for Sherry Cutts, Dan Wise, Rich Birdsong, this is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Be sure and stay tuned for the WGN News because it is next.